Hi, this is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, about to tell you one of the secrets of how to learn to understand a foreign language you're learning. But before I do so, I'd like you to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that I know that I'm making videos that you find useful for you. Okay, so what is one of the secrets for understanding a language that you're learning? Well, let me tell you a personal episode that happened to me yesterday. So I'm in Prague and I was waiting outside a building. It was freezing cold. We were in line to go into the bathrooms. At a certain point, I was lucky enough to step inside the heated waiting area. And I was surrounded by the Czech language because we're in the Czech Republic. But of course, there were lots of tourists, so speaking different languages as well. And I was just thinking of my own things when I suddenly heard the two ladies behind me who were speaking some unintelligible language for me. Talking, and the one inside said to the one outside, "Step inside, it's warmer in here." And I was a bit perplexed because, according to me, they hadn't been speaking English. So I really pricked my ears and tried to understand what they were saying, but no, it didn't seem English to me at all. So I just thought, well, maybe I misunderstood, or maybe they're multilingual and mixed languages, as in my family. So I didn't worry about it any longer. And I just carried on thinking my thoughts when suddenly I realized that they were speaking English, but they were from India, and I know Indian English very well. I've traveled in India. I'm used to hearing different accents. Yet this was really, really choppy and really, really tight and really, really fast. And if I listened, I couldn't really tell it was English. But having let my mind open and be free, I had perceived that there were English words in it. And so then I paid a lot of attention and I realized it was really, really fast, choppy Indian English, probably some dialect that I didn't know very well. So this reminded me of the fact that we have to open our minds. Another example I have is of when I went, I wanted to learn Spanish. And before I went to Spain, I didn't have time, so I used some audio cassettes. In those days, there was no MP3. I put them in my car and I continued listening to the same audio cassette until I knew everything. But there was this one sentence that meant nothing to me, and I listened and listened and listened and could make no head or tail of it. So I left it, and for weeks I just let the cassette run in the car as I was driving. And all of a sudden, even though I wasn't paying attention, something clicked in my mind, and I realized that I'd understood it. And in fact, I stopped it, went back, listened again. It was really true. I'd understood it. So these are two examples of how my theory, you can put it into practice. Don't concentrate too tightly on what you're trying to understand. Let your mind open and free, because if you open your mind, your subconscious will perceive words and expressions which make no sense until your subconscious can elaborate it. And then all of a sudden you'll start to understand. Of course, this doesn't work for total beginners. You have to have a certain level, at least pre-intermediate. But as long as you've got a certain amount of vocabulary and grammatical knowledge, you've listened a lot to the language, you've been exposed to it by reading and exercises, all the new materials, you can absorb them without necessarily having to understand every word immediately. Just let your mind be free. Let it absorb rather than trying to focus too much on it. If you focus on it, you tend to close and block your mind. If you open your mind and just let it free, you'll slowly absorb it, and suddenly one day you'll go click, now I understand. Okay, so that's one of the secrets to learning to understand the language that you are studying. Okay, so if you found this video useful, please press the subscribe button so I know that I can make some more videos of this kind. And that's all. Bye for now. Bye.